His FA Cup tie on the back of 3 unbeaten games and 3 clean sheets. How pleased are you with the resilience and togetherness of the group that they've shown recently?
Yeah, I don't think that was in question before from myself. We spoke about turning performances into points, and we've done that in the last 3 games, and deservedly so. It's probably overdue because we should have had more points in the previous 9 games than the 4 or 5 that we picked up, whatever the number was. You know, we know we're not far off. We've got to keep working hard, keep getting better. And as you've seen in the last 3 games, you know, it's easy to go, oh, you've only drawn with Oldham, who've got the best defensive record in the division, and you know, we didn't quite manage to get over the line, although if anybody we deserved to win, it was probably us, but we didn't do enough. Then you go, oh, we beat a poor Shrewsbury team. So the cynics are still there, but then you go to Fleetwood, who've only lost once at home, and that was back in August, and beat them. It suddenly, you know, shows that we're not far off again. Don't get me wrong, we've got a long way to go, got half a season, but the performances have been there virtually all the way through December, bar 1 or 2 half an hours here or there. So yeah, we know that if we keep progressing, keep, you know, playing well, then we'll pick up points, and that's what we've got to keep doing. And obviously we've got a cup game this weekend, which is slightly different, but we've got a big month. But they're all big months, and we've got to keep playing well. And if we keep playing well, then I'm sure we'll keep picking up points.
And as you say, it's a break from league action this weekend in the FA Cup. How important is it to try and carry the positive momentum into this competition?
Yeah. Momentum's important in football, it is. But then levels of performance are important. I don't think anyone can say that we've been poor for any sort of extended period this season. Yes, the results haven't been great, you know, in this last month, but we weren't poor. We didn't play poorly, certainly not over like 1 or 2 games or 3 games or whatever. You know, so if we maintain our levels and keep getting better, as we have done, you know, like I said, this time last year we were still inconsistent from game to game. We are consistent now, and we've got to maintain that consistency and get better. And if we do that in the second half of the season, then yeah, we will get greater momentum over the course of half a season. So yeah, it helps going into a game. I mean, kept 3 clean sheets on the spin, of course, and being unbeaten over the festive period, and that's not every side in the country, never mind in League 2, can say that.
And Saturday obviously brings a different kind of challenge in Weston-super-Mare. What will you be looking for from the players in terms of their attitude and sort of professionalism this weekend?
The same as we saw in the previous 2 rounds. It's not something that we're unaccustomed to in this competition this year, and we've done well against teams from the Conference and Conference South already this year, and we've got to make sure we do that again. They pose a different challenge because they played a different way, but then I don't think it's going to take us by surprise in that sense, because we do our homework as we do on every team, and every team does their homework on us, I'm sure, so we don't surprise anyone. So we've got to make sure that our levels are where they've been all season, whether that's levels of professionalism, levels of performance, levels of ability and skill. We've got to make sure our levels are where we set them, and if we do, then hopefully we'll have a good afternoon or a good early evening.
And with another sort of busy period ahead, certainly in the month of January, with some sort of big games as well, how important is it to have the strength in depth and sort of competition in places across the squad?
Yeah, I think that's been really vital in this last 4 games. You know, obviously, I think everyone were disappointed, you know, with the Cambridge game being called off. We'd obviously travelled as well as everyone else, and it's bitterly disappointing. It's no one's fault really, if truth be told. Could have been a bit earlier maybe, but you know, that's how it is. And the last 4 games, if you include the Cambridge game, we've had to utilise the squad, and they've been ready and they've done well. So in half a season, games are going to come thick and fast. Obviously we should be playing the league game this weekend, and that'll get rearranged, and obviously the Cambridge game will get rearranged, so they'll come thick and fast in January, February and March. So we've got to make sure that everyone is up to speed, up to scratch and ready to play at their optimum. And if they do, then that we give ourselves the best chance of winning games of football.
And we've won won the last 2 games late on, obviously against Fleetwood and Shrewsbury. What says that? Which says a lot about the mentality of the group, really, doesn't it? How pleasing has that been to sort of see?
Yeah, I think when you win games late on regularly, it's not a fluke. It's probably what you've done over the course of the previous 70 or 80 or 90 minutes. That's what it tends to be. Teams end up going into submission, if you like, and that's why that level of performance across 90 minutes or the previous 80 minutes or whatever it might be is so important, because that round white thing that's full of wind doesn't get tired, and if you use it well, legs do, human beings do. So it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't. I think in both games, even though we've won them late, we deserve to win both games late. We were certainly the Fleetwood game wasn't a classic in the conditions and the pitch. We carved out the best chances. Greeny's had a chance, and Jude's had a chance first half. Obviously we've got the goal, and we've limited them to probably one half chance from 15-18 yards. That in itself says a lot. But I think we controlled the game. I thought we were much more. When I say the aggressor, I don't mean aggression. I'm on about front-footedness. We're asking many more questions, and when that happens, there's a momentum with you. There's the opposition will get tired, and that's been the case in both the last 2 games. So we should have won in the last kick against Oldham when we had a chance with 2-on-1 and didn't quite get it right. We passed to them and not to our spare player or shot. So yeah. And Greeny's header in the last 10 minutes, that whistle past the post from a yard, so we could have won it then. But yeah, it's like I say, we're doing okay, and we've got to keep doing okay and improving on that, and keep picking up wins. And knockout competition on Saturday, I'm not bothered when the goal goes in knockout competitions. Just make sure you score one more than the opposition to get into the next round.
And we're obviously entering a key phase of the season now. How important is it to stay focused on the day-to-day work and continuing to build step by step?
Yeah, that's fundamental to our work. I don't think any of our fans could say that the players haven't got better, and the product, if you want, for a better term, the style of football or whatever you want to call it. I know some people might not agree with it, and I sort of get that and understand that. Some people might want to see 1980s 4-4-2, whack it up, all that. I get that, it's fine, but I don't think anyone can not say that we play better football, and we've got better footballers, and that's because of the fundamental work we do every day on the training pitch, and the growth mindset that the players have got, their ability to learn and take on board and acquire new skills, and they deserve a huge amount of credit. So the progress that we'll make and that we have made is key, and will continue to be key to aid better and better performances.
And finally, you've said before that you're going to need everyone across the season, and the importance of depth. How valuable is that collective mindset as you move into the next run of fixtures? Yeah,
like I've just said, the players that we've got at this football club want to get better, and they have, because they get well coached, they get well looked after, and they want to learn and want to improve, and that's key. That is absolutely crucial. When I first come to this football club, Evan Corey hadn't scored a goal or looked like scoring a goal, and I'm not sure how many goals he's got this year, but I think he's already got more goal involvements, goals and assists, than he had last year, and he's probably played less minutes in terms of actual to this point. So he's becoming more and more effective because he's acquiring more and more skills and developing really well. And that's just someone that's probably not been spoken about a lot, but that's true, and he deserves a huge amount of credit for that, for what he's picked up. So that mindset to get better, and I include myself in that. I want to get better all the time. I'm not just preaching to get better without taking, my own sort of growth mindset, if you like. And I appreciate it's a bit of a modern word and, a bit jazzy, but it's true. We want players who want to get better, want to improve at this football club, and they'll get the opportunity to do that. So it's going to be key for the next 5 or 6 months to continually get better, and if we continue to get better, we will improve and continue to improve, and we're not far away from being a very, very good side. We've got to make sure we are as quick as we can so we win more games of football.
David, thank you very much.
Thank you.